Hello and welcome to this video. This is a quick video about depth map generator add-on in Blender. So you can get this on my GitHub, which you can find here, Limbic Nation Blender depth map generator .py. That's actually the Python file you need to download. You can also just download the raw file or clone this repository, or you can download the zip. Back in Blender, when you install this plugin, you go into Preferences. It's good to refresh local, and then you can install from disk, and then navigate to your Blender depth map generator folder or Python file, and then install from disk. Click that. Once you have that installed, it's always good to refresh local, and you might need to restart your Blender instance. This plugin or add-on creates a basic depth map of the current view, so you can set the near and far parameters for the clipping. Basically, you can set the composite view or for the image viewer, or also define the file output, which I've done here in the directory. Let us render an image. It's always good to reset composition. Once you've done that, the nodes will reset to this view in the compositing, and you can go back into the layout, and then we set up depth map, create the composite nodes that you will need for the depth map. So here we want to render the Susan head, and we'll render depth map. Maybe we want to create another one. It's a bit more interesting, something like this. Render depth map, maybe more from the front. Yeah, I think this one is good. So this file is in our output directory right here. So the next step will be to go into ComfyUI and actually drop that depth map in. I've created a workflow, or actually this is the workflow from Stability, which I've slightly modified. This will, you can find this in the links description. We're using the SD 3.5 large and also the text encoder for stable diffusion and the control net large for the depth map. So we're rendering at 1024. Let's run this workflow and I'll fast forward time. Okay, so this generation has completed. This generation did not go so well. Let's try again. I will just go back into Blender, try to get a better shot. Reset composition setup again. Let's go for 3.3. Leave it at 5. Okay, let's try this one. So let's run again. I'll fast forward time once again. Okay, so the generation has completed. I think this one is quite funny and quite cool. Judging on the input depth map, I think it did a quite good job. Also the quality is 1024 times 1024 square for the resolution. That's the first step for this tutorial. For the next step, I would take this generated image into a custom VAN 2.1 image to video workflow. This is also a thing from their official site. Well, I think this is from Kajai's repository. I will put that link in the description as well. It's slightly modified, especially on the prompts here. So it's reusing the rotate LoRa. There's also a couple of more LoRa's which you can find in the links in the description. Let's try and run this and see what motion we can get. Okay, so the generation is done. I think I've accidentally pressed run the instance twice. So this is the motion we get. I think this is quite impressive. We're rendering 33 frames, but using Rife interpolation as well. So there you have it. We're going from Blender, rendering a depth map, putting that into the control net depth map workflow for stable diffusion 3.5 large, rendering this image. We're taking that image into the VAN 2.1 image to video workflow and creating that final animation. So I hope you found this video useful, and thanks for watching. See you next time.